here's what's going on inside of your brain, and what most people in society today, I'd say the overwhelming majority, over 50% of people today are dealing with what we call insulin resistance of the brain, right? Some people in our field now are calling it type 3 diabetes, but basically it is our brain is not able to take up and utilize glucose as well, right? When we're young and we're kids, we could run around and we call it, right? Oh, that kid's on a sugar high, right? Their body is soaking up and using all that sugar because they're running around, running around, running around. We're not doing that anymore. I wish I had the energy that I had when I was a kid, eating all that sugar, right? Now I have to do it through a different form of energy. But what happens is as we get older, our environment, we're not moving as much. We're even if we're eating the best foods and you think that you have everything dialed in, I'm eating well, I'm exercising. As we get older, our brain and bodies ultimately can't utilize glucose as well. And so we have this insulin resistance in the brain where our brain's just not taking up and utilizing glucose that well. But it actually still can take up and utilize a different form of fuel. Just most people just don't give it that fuel. If you're on this call, you are giving it that fuel because that fuel is ketones. And so our brain has these other receptors or these other tunnels or transporters that can still take up and utilize ketones even when glucose is blocked. And so, Mandy, that's why when you take ketones, you instantly, within 15 minutes, you're starting to see this uptake inside of the brain, inside of heart tissue, and you're rapidly taking up and utilizing this fuel that your body didn't really know that it had, right? Yeah, you can get a little bit of ketones with some intermittent fasting. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about that. You can get a little bit with exercise, but talk about pouring gasoline on the fire. That is what ketones do, right? You can get this fire started with really dialing in intermittent fasting, eating a low carbohydrate diet, exercising, but you really pour gasoline on the fire in a good way when you utilize ketones and you supplement in these ketones. And that's what we're doing.